Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons I have found people struggle with water fasting.
We're missing a piece of the puzzle. You start getting healthy and you just become a better person. We need to start focusing more on the individual.
What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to just jump into this real quick. We're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons that people struggle with water fasting. Now, this is obviously going to be based on my personal experience. I have had the opportunity to work with hundreds of people. So we should be able to get into some of the major issues here. One of the top reasons people have issues with water fasting is information overload. Okay. And basically what this means is when you go on the internet and you type in how to water fast, what is water fasting, or any of those keywords, you're going to be inundated with so much information, and it's not all going to be congruent. As a matter of fact, you can even get different information from sources that seem credible. Like if you're looking at fasting sources, different companies that actually promote long-term fasting, prolonged fasting, even amongst these different fasting coaches and different fasting sources, you could get different information. So this makes it very challenging because you don't know what information that you can count on, what information is just someone trying to make some money off of you. And so that overload can cause you to just be stagnant and not do anything. Or, for some of us who are overachievers, we just keep absorbing information without actually ever applying it, without actually ever taking that first step. Now, that is a major issue that needs to be dealt with. And I think one of the easiest ways you can kind of sift through the information is one of the reasons I created A Healthy Alternative is to actually do that process for you, sift through a lot of the information and present you all with information that I personally know works. So A Healthy Alternative is a great resource for anyone who's looking to learn about fasting and just get down to the nitty gritty. What works, what doesn't work. Okay. So finding a source like A Healthy Alternative, would be a great option. If you're looking to be able to verify things yourself, honestly, I would say you just got to get started and you have to start documenting your journey. Another good way to, kind of get the real information, what's helping people, is to go to individuals who have done fasting. Now, obviously, A Healthy Alternative has a great group. We've got 40,000 members in our Facebook group. So you could go there, you could talk to individuals. YouTube's a great resource as well. There's many people who are fasting on YouTube. You could go and maybe you could get in touch with some of them and talk to them or just watch their stories. But either way it goes, talking to people who are doing the fasting is probably one of the best ways to learn the real information about fasting. Number 2 on our list of 5 reasons why people struggle with water fasting would be their mental. Now, this is a huge topic. I'm not going to get into everything that kind of encompasses this mental, but essentially what happens is you could talk yourself out of the fast. There's many different ways you could talk yourself out of the fast. Going back to the first topic that I talked about was the information overload. Along with that, right, you can have different diseases, you could have different issues that you're dealing with, and you could say, oh, well, if I fast, maybe my issue will become inflamed or exacerbated or whatever. Maybe I've had a surgery or maybe I've had, some procedure done, and maybe fasting isn't good for me. I had one member who I was speaking with about a hernia that she had, and that is a good concern, right? Because the opening that she was dealing with was much larger than traditionally speaking, and so she's wondering if she starts fasting, will her intestines kind of start to shift during the fasting? So it's not that there is no concern with different diseases and different procedures you've had done and different things you're dealing with. That is certainly a concern. With that being said, everyone's journey is very personal, so there are decisions you're going to have to make yourself. But I do know that the body is highly intelligent, so it understands everything that's been done to it, and its goal is always going to be to heal in the most efficient way possible. Whether you're doing fasting or whether you want to do it a little bit lighter and start with, just changing your diet, those are both great options, whichever one makes you feel more comfortable. But either way it goes, you're at the end of the day, you're gonna have to trust your body. Another side of the mental thing, and this is a big one, is some people are afraid of dying. This is huge. As a matter of fact, when I very first started fasting, I was told by several people that I was going to die. And I know that if you all have shared the fact that you're going to be fasting with other people, you may have heard something similar. Oh, you're going to die. Now, this comes from a misunderstanding of what fasting is. A lot of people think water fasting or fasting is the same as starvation. These are not the same things. I've actually done videos talking about these two separate topics. I will leave a card in the video here for you all to check out that video where I talk about the difference between fasting and starvation. When you look at the amount of nutrition a human being actually needs, especially if you understand that most of the nutrition you're getting is supposed to come from the sun anyway, you really don't have to worry about being malnourished during a water fast, especially if you're doing anything less than 10 days. I mean, you're not even going to be, it's not even on the radar. Even if you're doing the longer fast, 30 days or so, you're completely fine. There is a very, very, very small amount of cases where there may be some concern with doing long-term water fasting, but for the most part, you're going to be fine doing it. So it's very easy to talk ourselves out of it. And if you don't understand, if you don't have enough good information, solid information, real information, continue to get that good, solid information. And then, perform the fast when you feel comfortable. Never pressure yourself into doing a fast. That's certainly not the way to go. And that's something that I touch on in that video. So definitely check that out. Here's an interesting reason why people struggle with their fasts. As you all may know, there is a spiritual aspect to all of this, right? So one of the reasons why people struggle with their fast is the spiritual ramifications of fasting. And what I mean is, when you fast, it opens up your eyes. You have a shift in your perspective. You become more one with the world, nature, the energy, everything like that. That's scary for a lot of people. Now, on the other side of the coin, there are individuals who have experienced that uh, level of enlightenment before, and now they're looking to get back to that point. For whatever reason, they may have lost it, and not knowing if this fast is going to get them there, that scares them. There's so many different angles to look at this and understand this. At the end of the day, this is what I tell people. Fasting works. It's not a matter of if it's going to work. It's just a matter of when you're going to commit to the process and when it's going to work for you. So for those who are nervous about not being able to reach that enlightened state, that's not a factor. It's really just about when you'll get there. And patience is obviously a virtue, right? Now, for those who are afraid of becoming more one, that's a different story. That's a different struggle. I think that's something that you need to work with within, right? Change is good. Change is growth, but change and growth are uncomfortable. There is no getting around that. Growing pains are real. So having to challenge your reality, having to challenge some of your fundamental principles, that is part of fasting. There are some crazy things people have gone through in their life, or at least from the outside looking in, it looks crazy, but it's really the most beautiful process. And at the end of the road, you have become this entirely different person, and you're a much better person for it. So it's something that you should welcome, right? And so what I would do is I would get with someone who's maybe been through this process and talk to them, learn more about their process, what they went through, their struggles, and the end result of all of that, and see how they feel about it. Because if you're afraid of that type of growth, you know, uh, you're going to be resistant to the fasting process, and then you're holding back your healing, your physical healing, and all of the financial success and everything that you want out of life, all the ability to manifest things. You're holding back all of that just because you're afraid of change and growth. So deal with that, and then let the floodgates open, and enjoy everything that comes along with having a healthy being. Now, this next reason people struggle on a water fast is one of the biggest, top two, I would say. And it's the social aspects of this process. We are very social creatures. When you think about the activities we perform, usually in the modern world, right? Our modern societies, most of the activities that we do on a daily basis involve food. All right, like that the powers that be have made sure that a lot of the daily activities, all the social events and things like that we attend and whatever, it includes food. And that is by design. That is not by accident. So when you go to start fasting, now you have to learn how to navigate all of these social aspects of your life while fasting, and that presents its own set of challenges. I did do a video where I talk about how to navigate the social aspects of your life and while you're fasting. And so I'll leave a card for you all to check that video out as well. But at the end of the day, you need to make a decision. Are you going to allow your friends, families, and coworkers to determine how much effort you put into your personal health, your personal wellness? Because at the end of the day, you have to live in your skin. So if you're uncomfortable in your skin every single day, is that worth giving up social events for a month? You know, there's a people get bullied socially. People feel obligated. But at the end of the day, are these people who are bullying you or pressuring you or making you feel obligated, are they dealing with the health issues you're dealing with? Are they dealing with the mental trauma that you're dealing with? Are they doing anything to help promote your wellness at all? If the answer is no, then I don't understand why they're even a factor, right? So we have to be serious and very intentional about our health journey, our wellness journey. And yes, it's we're social creatures. It's fun. You wanna enjoy life and blah 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 blah. I get all that, but there's a time and place for everything. And life's not always about having fun all the time. Now, I think in a perfect world, life can be about having fun all the time. We just don't live there. And we've done a lot of damage to ourselves. So at some point in time, we've got to deal with the damage that we've done. And that may not be nice and fun. It's all about perspective at the end of the day. Something that one person perceives as excruciating, another person can perceive as exciting. So perception it plays a big role here in how you feel and how you deal with this stuff. For me personally, I was okay with it. I scheduled my events around my fasting, and I always put myself first. And I'm so much happier now for it. And now I can go out and enjoy myself. And fasting for me is more of a maintenance thing now. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just put in a little work up front, and then you've got the rest of your life to play. Okay, so the last reason, and this is probably the number one reason why people have issues or struggle with their water fasting, is the physical aspect of it, right? It's the hunger pangs, it's the cravings, it's the detox symptoms. It's anything that encompasses the physical aspect of it, feeling weak, dizzy. If you're one that checks your pressures on a regular basis, you'll notice that your pressures are fluctuating up and down. There's a lot going on with your body during this time of fasting. And the absolute best way to deal with this is to, number one, educate yourself about what is going to take place. And then also to prepare yourself for what is going to take place. One of the major mistakes people make when they are making the decision to fast is they do not do any prep. So what did I do? I created a video where I talk about how to prep for your fast, and I'll be leaving a card for you all to check that out as well. If you guys are enjoying my content, especially this video and the effort I put into my videos, go ahead and hit that like button for me. I would appreciate that. But yeah, check out that video where I talk about, how to prep for a fast, because on the physical side of things, it's going to make things a little bit easier for you, just because you're going to start the detox process before you actually stop eating. And that is going to help gradually bring you into your detox. And that way it's not a culture shock. It's not going to shock your body as much. Now, there are aspects of this that you can't avoid, right? If you're going to fast, especially if you're doing any type of prolonged fasting, there are going to be detox symptoms. And there's going to be varying levels of detox symptoms. And it doesn't matter if you're a brand new faster or if you've been fasting for a year, 2 years, or 3 years. We're constantly toxifying our body. And so you're going to experience the detox as your body is releasing the toxins, right? I have done a video, and I will leave a card for that video as well, where I talked about some of the most popular detox symptoms. And so check that video out if you're not familiar with them. But essentially, when you're fasting, at some point, you could feel like you have the flu. We're talking about cold sweats, aches, just overall weakness, feeling like you just want to be in bed all day. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's completely fine because your body is performing light surgery. It is removing years and years or decades of crud and waste. It is doing a lot. And the beautiful thing about fasting is you're able to repurpose the energy that's designed to do all that maintenance. You're able to repurpose it from digesting food to healing. So give your body the opportunity to rest as much as possible. That goes back to planning, right? You can plan a period of time where you're just going to rest. You're not going to work. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing social events. You're going to allow your body to heal. So preparation is huge for avoiding some of the physical pains and things like that, especially if you are doing prep work with your actual eating strategy. That's going to play a huge role. And where I really go into depth about how you guys can create these strategies for yourself is on the AHA Fasting Academy. So the AHA Fasting Academy is a series of courses that I've put together. I've taken the past 3 years, hundreds of hours of content, and I've condensed it, and I've created a comprehensive course, for you all to digest. And it's an entire community on there where you could interact with other individuals and things like that. I also offer monthly calls, live calls where you could ask questions in real time. And so it's a great community. It's a great place for if you're struggling with fasting, if you're new to fasting, if you're an expert or a professional faster. I'm updating the courses consistently. And it's a platform that's owned 100% by AHA. So we're able to disseminate information in the most purest form. You're going to get the most up-to-date, purest information from the AHA Fasting Academy. So check that out at ahafastingacademy.com. All right, y'all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought some clarity to this topic. There's many different reasons why people struggle. I think that we could probably break it down to these 5 categories one way or the other. You may find some other reasons. If you have some other reasons why you struggle, leave them in the comment section below. Let's start a discussion and, let's see if we could help you work some of these issues out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you all next time.